Morning is supposed to be the start of a new day, a fresh beginning, but for millions of people over the age of 60, it is actually the most dangerous time for the brain. According to Japan's oldest active doctor, Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, who has spent more than 60 years studying aging and stroke prevention, there are specific morning habits that silently triple the risk of a stroke. Most seniors have no idea they're doing anything wrong. They think their routine is normal, harmless, maybe even healthy. But inside the body, especially after 60, these habits trigger a dangerous chain reaction: thicker blood, sudden pressure spikes, reduced oxygen flow to the brain, and stress on arteries that are already weaker than they used to be. A stroke is not something that always arrives with big, dramatic signs. Many begin quietly, building up over days or weeks. And the most surprising part? Your risk skyrockets the moment you open your eyes in the morning. While you're still lying in bed, while your brain is still waking up, while your heart is trying to stabilize itself, that's when a single wrong habit can create the perfect storm. But here's the good news. The same way these habits increase your risk, a few simple changes can dramatically lower it. Japan is home to some of the world's longest living seniors, and today you'll learn the exact morning mistakes they avoid and the early warning signs they watch for. If you're over 50, or someone you love is aging, this information could literally protect a life. So stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear may change your mornings forever. As the sun rises, most people assume their body is waking up refreshed and ready for the day. But for adults over 60, the early morning hours are actually the time when the brain is under the most pressure. Doctors in Japan, especially experts like Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, explain that stroke risk triples in the morning because of a series of physiological changes that happen during sleep and immediately after waking. The body goes through a natural shift, almost like changing gears, and for an older person, this shift can be surprisingly dangerous. During the night, when you're asleep for 6 to 8 hours, your body loses water through breathing and sweating. This dehydration isn't always obvious, but it thickens the blood. And thicker blood moves more slowly, becomes stickier, and can easily form clots, especially in older arteries that have become stiff with age. By the time you wake up, your blood is in its worst condition of the entire day. This alone significantly raises stroke risk. But then comes the second factor, the morning pressure surge. As soon as your body senses you're awake, it releases cortisol and adrenaline to boost alertness. These hormones tighten blood vessels, increase heart rate, and push blood pressure upward quickly. For younger people with flexible arteries, this isn't a problem. But for seniors whose arteries may already contain plaque, even a small spike in pressure can rupture a vessel or dislodge a tiny clot. Another hidden factor is that during sleep, blood flow to the brain can decrease, especially if you sleep curled up, with your neck bent, or on your side. When you suddenly change position in the morning, the circulation shift happens too fast for an older body to adapt. That moment of imbalance, often felt as dizziness, heaviness, or a foggy head, can be a warning that blood isn't reaching the brain properly. All of this becomes even more dangerous if someone wakes up abruptly, stands too quickly, skips hydration, or rushes into morning tasks without giving the body time to stabilize. Dr. Tanaka often says, morning is the body's stress test. It reveals the weaknesses we ignore. This is why so many strokes occur between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. It isn't coincidence, it's biology. Aging arteries, thicker morning blood, hormonal spikes, and sudden movement create the perfect storm. Understanding this pattern is the first step in preventing one of the most life-changing medical emergencies adults face after 60. One of the most common and most dangerous morning mistakes people make after the age of 60 is waking up and starting the day without drinking water. It sounds harmless. Many seniors don't feel thirsty in the morning, so they assume they don't need water right away. But according to Japan's longest practicing doctors, this simple habit silently increases stroke risk more than almost any other morning behavior. The reason is straightforward. After hours of sleep, the body is dehydrated, the blood is thicker, and the brain is operating on reduced circulation. When you sleep, your body loses water through breathing and through the skin. Even if you don't feel sweaty or hot, you lose moisture. Meanwhile, your kidneys continue working throughout the night, filtering waste and pulling fluids from your bloodstream. By the time morning arrives, your blood has a lower water content than usual. It becomes more concentrated, thicker, and heavier. For someone over 60 with naturally stiffer arteries, this thicker blood moves much slower and increases the chance of forming small clots. But that's only the beginning. Without water in the morning, your blood pressure tends to rise faster because the body has less fluid to stabilize it. The heart must pump harder to circulate thicker blood, and this adds unnecessary stress to already aging arteries. Many seniors think their morning headache, fogginess, or lightheadedness is just due to age or poor sleep, but in many cases, it's actually mild dehydration affecting the brain's blood flow. Japanese doctors teach a concept called asa mizu, which means morning water. It is a simple ritual. Drink a full glass of warm water within 5 to 10 minutes of waking. The warm temperature helps the vessels relax gently instead of shocking the system. Cold water can cause constriction and slow circulation even more, which is why warm water is the preferred choice in Japan's senior care programs. Skipping water also increases the risk of irregular heartbeat, especially in older adults with hidden heart rhythm issues. Dehydration can trigger episodes of atrial fibrillation, a condition responsible for many severe strokes. Even mild dehydration can cause sudden palpitations or that uncomfortable, thumping feeling in the chest. If you often wake up with a dry mouth, dizziness, heavy legs, or a cloudy head, your body is giving clear signals that it needs hydration before anything else. Drinking water immediately after waking is one of the easiest and most powerful stroke prevention habits. Yet it's also one of the habits most often ignored. Starting the day dehydrated makes the morning pressure surge much more dangerous, and for seniors, this can be the silent start of a serious problem. One of the most dangerous mistakes people over 60 make happens within the first 2 minutes of waking up: not drinking water. It seems simple, even harmless, but according to Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, this single habit dramatically increases the chance of a morning stroke. After a full night of sleep, the body is quietly dehydrated. You haven't had water for 6 to 8 hours. Your kidneys continue filtering through the night, your body loses moisture through breath and sweat, and your blood slowly becomes thicker and more concentrated. Most older adults don't feel thirsty immediately, so they assume their hydration is fine. But inside the bloodstream, things look very different. When blood becomes thicker, it flows more slowly through arteries. In a younger person, flexible vessels can adapt, but aging arteries are rigid and more vulnerable. Thick blood increases resistance, raises pressure, and makes it far easier for clots to form. And in the early morning hours, when the natural blood pressure surge is already happening, this becomes a dangerous combination. Another hidden danger is how dehydration affects the brain. The brain is nearly 75% water, and even mild dehydration can shrink brain cells slightly, causing symptoms many seniors often mistake for just waking up. These include morning headaches, slow thinking, eye pressure, dizziness, or the classic morning fog. Dr. Tanaka explains that these aren't normal signs of aging. These are warnings that the brain is struggling to receive proper blood flow. Dehydration also triggers the heart to beat faster to compensate for lower blood volume. For seniors with underlying heart rhythm issues, even small ones, this can trigger irregular heartbeat, one of the most common causes of stroke after 60. That's why Japanese senior care guidelines emphasize drinking a glass of warm water immediately after waking. Warm water hydrates the body more gently and helps blood flow improve more quickly. Cold water can constrict blood vessels, making morning circulation even worse. If you frequently wake up with dry mouth, dizziness when standing, a heavy head, or blurry vision, these may be early signs your brain is struggling due to dehydration. And the reality is that skipping water in the morning creates one of the fastest ways to increase stroke risk. A simple glass of warm water can thin the blood, hydrate the brain, stabilize pressure, and help seniors start the day safely. Many people believe that skipping breakfast is harmless or even beneficial for weight loss. But for adults over 60, this habit can dramatically increase stroke risk. After waking, your body needs fuel to stabilize blood pressure, balance hormones, and maintain proper blood sugar levels. When you skip breakfast or eat very late, You keep your body in a state of stress for several hours. During sleep, your blood sugar naturally drops. This is normal because your body isn't eating for many hours. But when you wake up and don't provide nourishment, your body releases more stress hormones, particularly cortisol. This hormone raises your blood pressure, tightens your blood vessels, and keeps your body in a state of alertness. For older adults with stiff arteries or plaque buildup, this added pressure can be dangerous. It increases the risk of a vessel bursting or a clot forming. Low morning blood sugar also causes inflammation inside the arteries. When the body doesn't receive food, it begins to break down stored energy, releasing fatty acids into the bloodstream. This makes the blood thicker and more likely to clot. Seniors who skip breakfast often experience symptoms like shakiness, irritability, headaches, or weakness. These are signals that the brain isn't receiving steady energy. In Japan, healthy seniors rarely skip breakfast. Instead, they eat something simple and light within the first hour of waking, often a warm soup, rice porridge, egg, vegetables, or a small serving of fish. This meal stabilizes blood sugar, calms the morning stress hormones, and improves circulation. It also helps maintain steady energy levels throughout the day, preventing sudden drops that strain the heart and brain. For older adults, skipping breakfast is especially risky if they already have diabetes, blood pressure problems, or cholesterol issues. These conditions make the morning hormonal surge even more unstable. Without breakfast, the body stays in fight or flight mode, and this continual stress increases the likelihood of a morning stroke. If you frequently feel lightheaded, anxious, sweaty, or unusually tired in the morning, these may be early signs that your body is struggling with low blood sugar. Eating a simple, balanced breakfast is not just about energy, it's about protecting your brain and maintaining stable circulation in the hours when your body is most vulnerable. A small meal in the morning might seem insignificant, but for someone over 60, it can mean the difference between a healthy start and a dangerous rise in stroke risk. Your brain depends on fuel, and giving it that nourishment is a powerful step in staying safe. When you wake up in the morning, the very first challenge your body faces is dehydration. You may not feel thirsty, your mouth may not feel dry, and you may assume nothing is wrong, but inside your bloodstream, the situation is completely different. After 6 to 8 hours without water, your blood becomes thicker, stickier, and more concentrated. This change is mild in young people, but after 60, it becomes a serious risk factor, because aging arteries are narrower, less flexible, and more likely to accumulate plaque. Thick blood trying to pass through stiff arteries is the perfect formula for a morning stroke. In Japan, Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka explains that about 70% of seniors wake up dehydrated without realizing it. Overnight, your kidneys continue filtering waste, your body continues sweating, and your lungs lose moisture with every breath. By the time morning arrives, the blood has lost enough water that its flow slows down. Slow, sticky blood increases the chance of clot formation, especially in small vessels of the brain. When a senior wakes up and immediately starts their day without hydrating, the blood remains in this dangerous, concentrated state during the morning pressure surge. That surge, triggered by cortisol and adrenaline, tightens your blood vessels and increases pressure. Thick blood plus high pressure is one of the most common triggers for early morning strokes. Skipping morning water also impacts the brain directly. Dehydration causes temporary shrinking of brain cells, which can lead to fogginess, pressure in the head, morning headaches, or blurred vision. Many older adults dismiss these symptoms as just age, but they're actually signs the brain is struggling to function with low hydration. Another overlooked danger is how dehydration affects the heart. When there's not enough fluid in the bloodstream, the heart must pump harder to move thicker blood. For seniors with mild heart issues, diagnosed or not, this extra strain can trigger irregular heartbeat, especially atrial fibrillation, which is responsible for a large percentage of strokes in older adults. Japanese longevity experts follow a simple rule: drink 1 glass of warm water within the first 5 minutes of waking. Warm water hydrates faster, improves blood flow, and relaxes vessels. Cold water can shock the system and constrict arteries. If you often experience dizziness, morning headaches, dry mouth, heavy legs, or a racing heartbeat after waking, These are early signs your body is begging for hydration. Something as small as skipping water may seem harmless, but internally, it makes the morning hours significantly more dangerous, especially after 60. In Japan, where people often live into their 90s with sharp minds and strong bodies, doctors emphasize not just what you do during the day, but how you start your morning. Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka teaches a simple but powerful morning routine that protects the arteries, stabilizes blood pressure, and boosts blood flow to the brain. It takes less than 10 minutes, yet it has been practiced for decades in Japan's longest-living communities because of its remarkable benefits. The first step begins immediately after waking. Before moving too quickly or sitting up, seniors are encouraged to take several slow breaths. This helps regulate the nervous system and prevents the sudden blood pressure drop that can occur when transitioning from sleep to wakefulness. Within the first minute, the body shifts from a low-energy state to an active one, and giving it a moment to adjust can prevent dizziness, imbalance, and microstrokes. Next is hydration. Japanese seniors drink a glass of warm water, never cold, because warm water is absorbed more gently and helps thin the blood after hours of overnight dehydration. This one step alone helps reduce the morning thick blood effect, lowering the risk of clot formation. Warm water also stimulates circulation and wakes up the digestive system without stressing the heart. After hydrating, Dr. Tanaka recommends sitting at the edge of the bed for about 10 seconds before standing. This simple pause allows blood to flow back to the brain and helps stabilize pressure. Once standing, gentle neck and shoulder movements are encouraged. These slow rotations loosen stiff blood vessels, increase circulation to the head, and reduce the tightness that many seniors feel in the upper spine and neck, areas where poor blood flow often begins. Light hand and finger massages follow, stimulating nerves and microcirculation. Many seniors in Japan believe that warming the hands warms the entire body, especially the brain, because the hands contain dense nerve pathways connected to the central nervous system. These small massages activate those pathways and improve brain alertness. A short walk around the room, even for just 2 minutes, raises body temperature, improves blood flow, and prepares the heart for the day. Instead of sending the cardiovascular system into shock, this gentle warm-up wakes it naturally. Finally, the routine ends with a small, balanced breakfast, something light such as miso soup, a boiled egg, or rice porridge. Eating early stabilizes morning blood sugar and prevents the hormonal stress spike that can strain arteries. Altogether, these steps create a morning environment where the brain receives steady oxygen, the heart avoids sudden strain, and the body gradually transitions into the day, protecting seniors from the hidden dangers that the morning often brings. This video is created for educational purposes and is based on research, expert opinions, and long-standing practices followed by Japanese health professionals. However, every person's health is different, and the information shared here is not meant to replace medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment from a qualified healthcare provider. If you experience any unusual symptoms, such as sudden numbness, confusion, difficulty speaking, severe headaches, dizziness, or changes in vision, you should seek medical attention immediately, even if the symptoms seem mild or disappear quickly. Strokes often begin with small warning signs that people ignore. Listening to your body and acting early can save your life or the life of someone you love. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your health routine, especially if you are over 50 or have existing medical conditions. Your safety and well-being should always come first. The truth is simple. Mornings can either protect your life or silently put it at risk. What you do in those first few minutes after waking shapes the health of your heart, your arteries, and your brain. Japan's oldest doctors have spent decades studying the patterns that most people overlook, and their message is clear: small habits create big consequences. But the good news is that these same small habits can also create powerful protection. You don't need expensive treatments, complicated routines, or hours of exercise. All you need is awareness, and the willingness to make gentle adjustments that your future self will thank you for. A glass of warm water. A slow rise from bed. A light, nourishing breakfast. These simple choices give your brain the oxygen it needs, your heart the stability it deserves, and your body the calm start it has been waiting for. If you learned something today, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with your parents, grandparents, friends, anyone who is over 50 or anyone you want to keep safe. Knowledge is protection, and one small video can make the difference someone needs. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay aware, and take care of your mornings, because they are the beginning of everything. I'll see you in the next video.